Welcome to AltJake Takes On. Hello again, everybody. We are back. I am AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On, episode number 34. I'm here with my buddy George, as always. How you doing today, my friend?
Doing good. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I am good. We're into the point now where Phoenix can start bragging about the weather. We're gonna be like nowhere above 80 degrees and nowhere below like 40 degrees for the lows through pretty much until April. So I'm enjoying my life. Yeah, that's why we live here. It was a rough summer, but you know, we're back to normal here. So.
Understandable.
Right? But I'm good. Ready to...
Hey, before we get into wrestling, can we venture off for a second, if you don't mind?
Always. Tangents are what we're all about around here.
So I didn't mention it yesterday because we were doing the AEW Dynamite review, which, by the way, is every Thursday on YouTube Live. Cheap plug. I'll take it.
8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bingo. Thank you. I swear to God, I didn't realize we were living in the 1980s again. Because yesterday the NBA betting scandal broke and I couldn't believe that I saw the word mafia families are involved. 5 mafia families in the New York area. Huh?
I said the 5 families. Yeah.
I just, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? And then then today they were breaking out the complexity of this thing. They had radar machines underneath the card table reading the cards.
It was
glasses, contact lenses.
It was like a spy movie, but So what's funny is, and I will only tie it back to wrestling for a second, just because how I found out about this was when I woke up, because again, I'm on the West Coast, so I wake up a little bit later, and obviously the story had well broken, and I'm going through my Twitter notifications, and I only have a few, probably like 6-7 accounts that I've set to like notifications because they're either funny or they break you stuff or whatever. But there's an account called WWE_creative-ish, and it's Robert Karpolis, who used to be a part of WWE creative from I think like 2008 to 11 or whatever, so he knows about it. But he made a joke in comparison to like wrestlers getting in trouble. And he's like, but with this NBA news that's broke today, and I forget the joke that he made, but it made me like, what NBA news? And then go to the rest of my notifications and start going in and spend like an hour, maybe more, on my phone just reading more about like, what was it? Chauncey Billups was involved.
Yeah, he's an actual active coach,
right? And former player,
not anymore, but.
Right. He was an active.
So the way this worked is there's 2 different sections of this. Chauncey Billups was the dude that would get suckers to come to these high stakes poker games that were fixed. And they bring these wealthy suckers in and strip them down to $0 by the time they left. That's going on. The second part of this was the player, which I can't remember his name now because I've just lost my thought. They showed films of the games where he was just turning the ball over, and then he would leave the game. He told the people he was leaving the game in like the 3rd quarter with an ankle injury, and sure enough, he left the game in the 3rd quarter with an ankle strain. And then insiders were finding out if LeBron's injuries was real or not. One thing about the NBA is they keep their status, if they're playing or not, secretive a lot.
Right.
More than the NFL guys do.
Right. And hockey's a similar way. No, I know that.
But
they say it's
NBA doesn't have to list them like the NHL and the NFL do. NFL and NHL especially, they're so vague. Like, if my knee hurts, it's a lower body injury.
Right.
They don't have to be specific. In football, they kind of got to be a little more specific. And NBA, they just whatever. It's amazing. And so this guy was fixing games, and you can see
was it Terry Rozier? Is that the
Terry
one?
Rozier? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. No, I was trying.
He's an active player. He's an active player.
Was an active.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Both these dudes, Rozier and Billups, Rozier more by about 20 million, but they've all made over $100 million in their career so far. all
Jeez.
these two guys each.
Yeah, no.
So money's not the issue. It's just the gambling addiction and stuff that
Right.
is a real thing, which it obviously is.
Like, like
Gambling problem,
the
please
addiction of getting a
number you have
rush.
to call.
Yeah. They're like trying to get a rush from some of these moments. Because yeah, like what was it? Like Kevin Garnett was involved too. Because what was they called it? Like
I didn't hear his name. They got 32 names. I didn't really go into the names because I don't want to get heartbroken.
I'm just looking. I just typed it into the general feed. Yeah, Kevin Garnett was reportedly among the former pro athletes who
That's
was
awesome.
under the DOJ's Operation Royal Flush per Pablo Torre is what I'm seeing on that.
Yeah, Pablo's a good reporter.
Right, I was gonna say that's a name I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like what's also crazy is when I looked this up and started like going through my Twitter feed, I saw that thing, like it was that story breaking, and I saw a picture of Chauncey Billups on the sidelines. The very next post was a DraftKings post or a DraftKings ad.
ESPN,
like it was just one of those things of like
ESPN was doing the story this morning, or I think maybe last night. I don't remember which one I watched. They were doing the story while their betting lines were going on, scrolling on the bottom, and they had to take them down.
Right, like everything brought to you by DraftKings, brought to you by, I mean, I forget some of the other ones, you know, was it like Bet365 and everybody else? That's, this sports betting is something that is just, and then you got this was obviously a poker ring with it, but.
Yeah, to prove how much sports betting has changed. When I was betting pro football, you used to get a card, a white card, and you pick your teams. And you go down to the local store and see your guy. That's how you bet on games. It wasn't legal. These cards weren't legal. We had cards all over. It's not legal at all.
Right. No, it was, with bookies. Yeah, you had the bookies.
I didn't want to mention the word.
No, well, I'm just saying, like, that's what those were, they were called. I'm not saying that's what it was. I'm just saying those were, because you would hear about those type of things or types of, like, and or, having a line in with Vegas or whatever with it. But it was always some sort of,
that was the only place, Vegas.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, they couldn't in Atlantic City even too. It was just Vegas. That makes sense though because of how close. Yeah, I'm just looking at, and then you've got the videos like of Rozier playing and like clearly just giving the ball.
Yeah, he gives the ball up.
Yeah, no,
this is 3-point shots by a mile.
Right.
Even I could hit the rim sometimes. Jeez.
Right. It's one thing to miss, but to not even come close with it. And then like obviously. With the NBA, people travel, so he's played for multiple teams, and you wonder, like, oh god. And obviously, like, this is just this is the beginning of it. So
that's the beginning, dude. There's people out there, and I'm not one of them, but I could be convinced there are people out there that think all sports are rigged. This helps their conversation.
Right. But I mean, there's the difference. Okay, so there's the difference of it. Like, this is like a rigged from the play, like. People are thinking like the NFL's got like a script and there's rigged from like,
if you're
on down. That's a little different.
If the football game is a spread of 3.5 and you're the field goal kicker, and you
I get you.
See, that's
right now. That's
start talking about.
And well, there's a different level of it because there's some people who think it's rigged in the gambling side, but there's people who are like convinced that sports are like rigged as a show put on by the league, you know what I mean? Like that's what the athletes are doing, which exactly that's not true. I could believe. I mean, what was it? Tim Donaghy, the NBA ref, that clearly or not clearly he admitted to and went to jail for. I mean, there's a great ESPN 30 for 30 about it. And what's funny is, so one of the reasons I'm not as much of an NBA fan as I used to be. Well, first off, I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s when it was like a contact sport. When you could actually like play defense and. They need to tone it down a bit, but where it's gone to now, like it's not the same sport. But also, too, I grew up in Phoenix. I was a Suns fan, and like there were some of those games that were very shittily officiated that took the Suns down against the Spurs, and then also the whole thing where Robert Horry, cross-checked Steve Nash into the scorer's table. And players go up to look for him, don't go onto the court, but because their feet crossed the line, Boris Diaw and Amari Stoudemire got suspended for the next game, and the Suns lost. And is what it is. I thought that was rigged from David Stern because he was trying to give the Spurs a dynasty. But the NBA has had a history of this. I mean, there was, like you said, we went back to the 80s. There was betting scandals, and then let alone what's happened in college too with point shaving.
I was just surprised to hear the word mafia.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like
that came out. You've heard me often say when somebody mentions mafia, I go, mafia doesn't exist.
Right. No, yeah, it's a Hollywood invention. There's no Gambino family. Literally, I'm looking up. That's the first name that you see. The Bonanno and Gambino families. Like, oh, Jesus.
I can see where people, if LeBron James is hurt. Okay. Now this is an example I heard today, and it's not an example. It's just true. Insiders found out that LeBron was going to play. However, on the game report, he wasn't listed as going to play. He was questionable.
Right.
But these guys knew he was playing anyway. So you can get the bet in early knowing he's going to.
Right.
This is just a tip of the iceberg. You'll see as it comes out, it's going to be a cluster F.
Right. That's the thing. There's so much there's so much more that's going to come out of this. And for this to be the first shoe to drop, and 30 NBA or 30 was it current or former NBA players were arrested from this, and then with how much is going to come through, with La Cosa Nostra and the RICO cases that can come out of this. This is going to be a long story. When did this drop? Yesterday?
Yeah.
October 23rd, 2025. This is going to take years to resolve.
How elaborate that game card, card playing thing is amazing to me.
Yeah.
They had a breakdown of it on TV, and I was like, I just was in awe. I'm like, okay, you can wear glasses. And then they showed the view through the glasses on the camera, how the cards were marked. And then they had the machine, the x-ray machine, and you could wear contact lenses. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's crazy. And the fact they can do all of these type of things, and then sometimes you hear of certain law enforcement, there were things just get completely botched. You're like, because it's a crazy, amazing scheme. How long were they working on this too? I've seen different reports on that too, of how long this
to break what they broke so quickly. They've been working on it for a while.
Right, a long time. That's years, I feel or at least a lot of months on this. It's a crazy story.
You don't get all that. You don't get all that specific information that quick ever.
Right. And let's be real, whoever these people are, they were, and former NBA players or whatever they are, just saying these people are millionaires. So they've got lots of money and able to hire the best possible lawyers. And they all got arrested and it got reported. And there was, you know what I mean? So there's clearly hard evidence, as we know of. It's just
when they show Rozier tanking the game like they showed. I mean, you could see. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out.
Right, but there's one thing of having a bad day, and there's nothing of rolling the ball to another person.
The announcer, but they're showing the film of the game. The announcer says, "Well, Rozier's having a bad day."
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm looking at it on X. I pulled up on the screen, but I don't want to get. We don't have the express written consent of the NBA at this point. So it's crazy story. And like you said, there are some smaller names, but there's big names involved.
Like I said, I saw it yesterday, but we're concentrating on what we're doing at the time. Yeah. But I'm sorry, folks, you had to listen to that for the first 10 minutes.
It was fun. I feel like our opening kind of just banter is fun. People, we get a good response from it, and I enjoy, like I said, it's one of our things. Like you said, you want to go off a tangent. I'm like, awesome. That's one of the reasons why we do the show the way we do it, where if we we're going to review Raw, but if it's going to send us on tangents to bring up old history or other things. It's not just
especially as an older member of the crew here, having just been through all this, with football betting being under the table, and you had to go down to the store and, see your bookie and see a middleman, and hopefully you paid your, if you bet your money. I used to be able to bet without giving money first because I was a friend of my best buddy was the right-hand man, so to speak. So I didn't have to.
They weren't going to break your legs.
No, if I didn't pay, they
right.
I was. He told me to. I'll just say it. He told me the one time. He goes, "Listen, you don't have to pay me up front because they know you're my buddy, but if you lose, you better pay me within 24, or I'm going to have to hurt you." And I'm like, dude, you're like, I love you. You're like a brother, but yeah, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, so for me, it was funny is there's people that would consider me to be older in the community of it, with where the community is now and how the much more young people are involved. But for me, the initial, the first thing I can remember about sports betting at all, Pete Rose. That's what I remember as a kid, because Pete Rose is what, 89, 90, 88, 89, somewhere in that realm of it.
He died.
He just recently died. Yeah, but I'm talking like
Yeah.
his story. Yeah. I think he passed away this year or late last year, some point like that. But that scandal of him being a manager and all of that, like I remember when that breaking and like my parents explaining to me what sports gambling was and why he was in trouble and why, like, my stepdad is one of the biggest, like, he's from the Cincinnati area, so he's a big giant Reds fan and always was a huge Pete Rose fan, and why he was no longer, because
this is nothing
stuff.
This event now is nothing compared, or is everything twice 15 times. Pete Rose is I'll try it again. Pete Rose's scandal is nothing compared to this.
Right, exactly.
Pete never bet on his team.
Yeah, at least they could prove, yeah.
No, everyone admits that. FBI, Pete Rose, everyone always says the same thing. He might have been a dirtbag, but everybody never bet on his team to win or lose.
Which, I mean, that would have been like, that's the worst of it that you can do, is especially the betting and the tanking. I mean, again, as I've got look to my screen to the left, and I see Terry Rocher is just rolling the ball over and making clear passes to, like, I am passing the ball to you in the different jerseys, so you could be wide open for three. Yeah, no.
So the gambling thing's a real deal. If you do have a gambling addiction, call 1-800-522 call 1-800-522-4700 gambling addiction hotline 24/7. There you go.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Seriously, like, it's one of those things that there is avenues for help, and I feel like it's one of those situations that people would be hard pressed. I feel like that would be something that people would internalize more these days, because you see so much of it. And look, I wasn't going to mention this part of it, but I will. Fuck it. My grandparents were both pretty degenerate gamblers at certain points in their lives, and gamblers will always tell you about the wins and to celebrate it and how great things are, but they never tell you about the losses. And I feel like if you're in that type of struggle, you're going to see the commercials on TV or the internet, YouTube, whatever.
It's all on your phone, dude.
Yeah,
and people
always
talking super about convenient now.
Yeah, and all your friends or whomever are talking about, oh, I won this, I won that, I won this, I won that. They're losing just as much, if not more. There's a reason why all these sites have all these commercials and can give you $200 of bet play with your $5 bet, and actually of that you can never
Las
take
Vegas
out.
Wasn't built on winners, people. Las Vegas was built on losers.
A 24-hour town with that much lights, and again, the excess doesn't exist because of that's why I only ever played certain games when I was in Vegas that I liked, because they were better chances. And what's funny is the game I like the most is pretty much down to like only in 5 casinos on the strip, or 5 on the strip and like 4 in downtown, and at one table each, because they realized it's not best for them. And that's the game I liked, because it was the chance of winning. Because it used to be a 6-hour drive. They've shortened it down to about a 4-hour drive from Phoenix to Vegas, or it's a 45-minute flight. I turned 21 in Las Vegas. I enjoy gambling, but I've always left it to, I will only do that in Vegas. And I don't gamble. I've never bet on sports in my life. Like, aside from, like, I used to do a football pool or just like a pick'em pool for fun. But yeah, the whole parlays thing, like, it's not something I want to be involved in and get a part of.
Just
like, it's not for
me. I gave that number earlier. Just if you have a problem, call that number. Just be careful, because
I'll put it in then.
It's on your phone. And it's super convenient, and information's already there. It's super easy to get sucked in quick.
Yeah, I'll put that phone number. I'll put that number in the description of the video and the clip itself too. So if you are listening and do need help, please call the number, reach out. There are people that will help you. You're as embarrassing as it can be, and people have been in those situations. I've been in certain ones myself at different times in my 43 years. You will not be as embarrassed if you don't. You'll be more embarrassed if you don't reach out. I promise. In the long run.
Yeah. There's no real good segue to bring up Ross, so we'll just
and you know what? We'll just dive right into it. It was a fun Monday Night Raw for what it was with it. I just really enjoy, like, Bronson Reed's fine and a great part of it too, but just the idea of Heyman and Braun Breaker together just makes me happy. I don't know. I just think it's perfect. I think Breaker was born to do this. He's literally acquired the best parts of Scott and Rick and meld them together. That's why I'm scared for Scott's son, who's recently got a NIL contract. What if he's got the worst of both? Like he just hurts people and is a
he's
shithead.
already an athlete and looks great. So
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying because I feel like because Braun here has got the best of it. He really is. I mean, it's one of those things where this situation, as much as it sucks that he got kind of rushed into this, because clearly,
just to lay a foundation real quick before we continue on here. The only reason why we've sped up 6 months because of the Seth Rollins injury, in case anybody forgot what's going on. With Seth Rollins being hurt, they've had to scramble and move everything on really fast forward, like double speed, triple speed.
Right.
So and this is what we bring to Raw.
Yeah, no, you're right. And 6 months is, if it was going to happen at Mania, like there's a chance that it was going to be like Breakker versus Roman at WrestleMania, like Spear versus Spear or whatever. And this wouldn't have happened until later. You know what I mean? Like this could have lasted a hell of a lot longer. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was going to be Breakker winning at WrestleMania or whatever. But you're right. Like no matter what was going to happen, we've had to make a move. And honestly, that's where I was kind of thinking where I was going to get into. And I'm glad you brought it up the way you did, because a lot of guys might not be able to handle this in this way. Like, you know, if you're told you the future, hey, you're going to be main eventing WrestleMania in 2, 3, 5 years, to, hey, we might be having you main event one of the nights this year. Like it's a lot of pressure. Some people might buckle. And I don't feel like Braun has had any issues. He was great in this moment. You know, they came out and had to mess with Pierce, and like, I mean, look at that picture. He looks pretty goddamn good with the belt. I'm not gonna lie. You know, and like he held his own in this moment.
He did this though. We were talking about how they were going to do this,
right?
And we mentioned a tournament. We didn't mention Battle Royal, but that was I like that. I like the Battle Royal idea personally.
Well, and because what is it? Saturday night's main event it's November 1st, right?
Next Saturday.
Yeah. So I mean, a tournament is one thing. Like they're smarter this way, because then it ends, and by the end of the show, you know who are the two people in the match, so you can build with that next week. You don't have to.
And we were right.
I mean? Yeah.
We were right. We were right with the 1 point. Give CM Punk a bye. We called that.
Yes. Yeah. And they just did it a little bit differently, but you were absolutely right. And it was just like you said, he didn't have to like get a first round bye. It was a bye. Everybody else is fighting to face him because he earned it. And it did work out. And it was kind of cool. What was that?
That's what I was really hoping for.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw him into this mix and screw him.
Yeah. And it made and with where he is with the fans, it just makes perfect sense. Now, what I was surprised by was that I didn't think Bronson Reed was going to be allowed into the Battle Royal, but I definitely thought Breakker was going to be.
No, I didn't. I was hoping. I thought immediately, like, there's no way these guys can be in this thing.
Yeah, no, and it was great, and you're right, and that. I've been watching AEW too much recently of it, where they just rush things and ruin things, where this was perfect. Like it was, and they were able to keep, have like backstage segments about it where they almost kind of fought with Heyman. Like it was perfect.
If you had Braun in the Battle Royal, he'd have to win it.
Right. Unless something happened where he was going to like go off on a tangent there. But
they couldn't get it. They couldn't get into all that. Yeah. I get you, but they just didn't have the time.
Yeah, no, it made perfect sense the way they did it. I loved it. I really, really did. I thought it was
perfect. It worked for me. No problems. I just didn't like the winner. I didn't like the winner of the Battle Royal, but whatever.
I'm interested by that, and we'll get to that as we go along, because there's parts of that do intrigue me, but I also understand why it's not to others. But I also was cool about this where they didn't make Pierce look stupid. That's what I was trying to. I'm like, there was another point I wanted to make. That was it, because they really. And under Vince, and a lot of times they would make the GM just kind of look like an idiot. And that's but Pierce stood his ground and was able to get the belt back and not put them in the Battle Royal. So that was, I like that. I thought that was good.
I saw Pierce on my Twitter earlier before Raw went on. Did he say in the Twitter announcement that the Browns weren't going to be in the Battle Royal?
I would assume so. I didn't see that, but I mean, because
they
seem to know
it. Don't remember.
You're right, because they seem to know it or not be surprised by it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he may have said it during my.
Yeah, and I don't see. I don't watch.
Maybe.
You know what? I should set him I should put him on notifications, because he does usually give some good stuff in those initial promos. I mean, he's great at this GM role. I know there's some people that don't used to give him shit or whatever reason, but I always thought he was great. And because he's a former wrestler, he has that.
Yeah.
Kind of cachet, and I still still think Triple H is going to have him and Aldis fight sometime. But
yeah, you got that clock's ticking, dude.
It's got to be at this year's WrestleMania. I feel like it's the answer, especially with next year being in Saudi. Like it's got to be this one, but we'll see. And then you had so then they go to the tag team title match of Team AJ Lee, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day, which was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun match. Back and forth. I really think, you got 4 great workers in here. I mean, JD McDonough is probably the most underrated wrestler in the WWE. Yeah, I mean,
I was just going to give you I got 3 words for you. JD McDonough.
I mean, he's great. Like, there's just, you're right. He's so good at this. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, you can see why. And we all know he's willing to risk his body and willing to do anything. So I'd
rather not see any more of that. Thank you, but okay.
He's right. Yeah. But let's do a little less of that and more of just matches like this, where it's a great match. Everybody's excited, gets the crowd into it because you had the opening promo segment. The crowd was hot for it. Everybody pulled off pretty much all their moves. Finn did the sling blade and hit the coup de grace, and then Lee saves. Everybody's got their moves. Styles did the Styles Clash. I was surprised though that it ended with Dragon Lee and AJ Styles winning. Yeah, I did not see this coming. I really didn't. I thought it would continue the storyline. Maybe it would happen. I definitely thought they were going to lose the tag titles at some point, just because there's obvious dissension in the Judgment Day with the men at this point. But I just didn't think it would happen here. I would have thought at earliest it would have been Saturday night's main event.
And not these two. A title change is fine, but these two was bizarre.
It is. It's bizarre for AJ. Like, I actually get it for Dragon Lee because you kind of need something with him. But I mean, I'm not exactly sure why AJ Styles is what won that one. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe it ends up with them dropping him at Saturday night's main event. Back to Judgment Day. I'm not sure.
It's like with Seth Rollins getting hurt. They just said, screw it, and just changed everything. It's like, okay, we're just going to go bonkers here and just change it all up for you guys.
What was it, Vince, with the track? We got to shake things up a bit. Yeah, no, you're right. No, it was. So what's funny is I was watching this match and then I went into the kitchen to start making dinner and like setting the stuff up because I thought we got to the point where I'm like, hey, it's a great match. They're starting to go home. Judgment Day will pull it off by cheating. And then the bell rings from I ran back and luckily, shout out to Netflix. Very easy. Just hit the 10-second rewind 3 times and I watched the end of it. I was surprised. It was a good match. I just was surprised by them winning.
Yeah, they have something. They have something going here.
I think so too. Especially, with your going into Saturday night's main event and then Survivor Series. I think there's definitely a lot on the table with it for it.
If you gotta break it down, I mean, Dragon Lee has been there. Nothing great, doing consistent work, looks fine. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just teams with AJ Styles and they win. So something.
Yeah, well, I feel like he kind of got put into the LWO, and then either he got hurt or whatever happened with it. It just didn't work. Just kind of fizzled out. He's
just there. He's there.
Yeah. And through no fault of his own, just whatever he's done has kind of fizzled out. So yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Like what he's been there, and then like everything around him's kind of shat the bed, and he's like, well, all right, I'll go over here. And then they shot the bed. Motherfucker, I'll go over here. God damn it. And because he hasn't done bad work, it's not like he's like, because I saw some people trying to compare him a while ago to Sin Cara because he hasn't done as amazing as they've thought he could have. Like Penta's been over a lot more than he has, but it's not like he's been wrestling. It's not like he's been a botch fest, and it's not like he's like, dislocated his finger and tried to leave a match. Like he's been fine. I would think, yeah, great. He's been there. And we'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited to see where they go with this, but we'll see what happens. The next match was Rusev and Dom. I love this. I don't know why, but I fucking love Dominic Mysterio, man. The kid just makes me smile to see how well he's taken to this now. Like he's just the best little shit heel, but it's going to turn to a babyface sooner than later. I think with the Judgment Day, that's how that's going to happen. But this was a perfect match. Rusev beat the snot out of him if the match was 15 minutes for, 11 and a half of it. It was Rusev beating the crap out of him. Like he caught him at the 619. I mean, it was just fun. I loved it.
Or do they keep Dom a heel, make Finn or Finn
Maybe
and
you
JD
hear
baby
people
faces.
cheering for Dom, like there's this kind of groundswell of people that, and I think it's less of like, oh, they're cheering for the heel, and more of like where I'm at, where it's like,
Yeah, it's just
look at this kid,
it's
you
going
know?
it's doing the Eddie Guerrero thing.
Yeah, where you just can't not love the little, because the whole lie, cheat, and steal thing was supposed to be a heel, and everybody friggin' loved it, and Dominic plays up to that. And so there's great parts to it, but then he still can be a heel. Like, got the hammer, and then Rusev took it away, and the ref took it off so that Dominic could kick him in the nuts. Like, I mean, it's classic heel moves, and it's classic Eddie Guerrero, which is great for Dom. Like,
they're following the story.
That's nice. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, he's gonna, if he does turn babyface at any point beyond this, it's because the fans, like, if the fans just all of a sudden started booing him every time he grabbed the mic,
it's not gonna be a scripted, like a heel turn. Like, you're not gonna see it. Like, they're not gonna make it obvious. It's exactly like what happened. Like you said, we said Eddie Guerrero part 2.
Yeah.
Just
exactly. And it's great. It's organic, and you can't deny it with the fans and it's great. And I love it. And I mean, come on, like, I forget exactly the time. What was it, like 2022 when he turned on Edge and Ray? But if you'd have shown me this picture then and told me what the second belt was, I admitted I wouldn't have known what the AAA belt was back then. Fine. But if you just show me this picture, my mind would have exploded. Like, there's no way I would have thought he would have been this over, a double champion, working like a stud. Like, that's the other thing too, is like, he takes his beating well. There's no like missparting times. Like, there's no like weird, like, oh, they mistimed that one. He looked weird when he does it. Like, he takes his, I don't know. Like, the kids put in the work, and that's what I love. And then Penta was a part of it too. And I feel like this is going to lead to a triple threat match in San Diego or maybe in Saturday Night's Main Event on Saturday. I'm not sure, but clearly Dom has to be a major part of Survivor Series. It's in his hometown, for God's sake. He's thrown out the first pitch at Petco Park multiple times, and shout out to Dom. He made sure he got a Tony Gwynn jersey, who is one of my all-time favorite players in the history of baseball, and why I don't watch as much baseball anymore, because like the guy who wins MVP will strike out as many times as Tony Gwynn did in the 90s. So,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I love Tony Gwynn. Like, he was, and so seeing how so I'm not sure what will happen. Like, I don't know if they have this. I would think this triple threat would be perfect at Survivor Series, because everyone's a star. Dom can win, look good, but
don't forget also you have 2 Saturday Night's Main Events back to back, like November 1st and December 13th.
Right, but and then Survivor Series is in between those, because Survivor Series is, I believe,
but it's unusual to see Saturday Night's Main Event.
No, I was shocked. That's why, like, for us, our last episode we did, episode 33, both of us were like, no, what's gonna happen, blah blah blah. And shout out to Mike Glass, he was like, yeah, there's a Saturday Night's Main Event on November 1st. Well, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, because I was with you, where I thought, oh, well, there's one in December, there's not going to be one in November. But I mean, it also makes sense where they use them where they need them. It kind of works where there's one, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday on the 1st, and then you've got 4 weeks later, you've got Survivor Series on the 29th. And then 2 weeks later is that Saturday Night's Main Event. And then after that, we're getting towards the Royal Rumble. So the next match, though, unless you have anything else you want to cover about this one.
No, we're all good here.
I think this one you got a little bit to say about.
Not as much as people are going to think.
I'm just kidding. No, like we said before, you've gotten a little hate for it, but you're just being honest, which, hey, I respect. I'm all for it. That's
not.
That's what this is. A safe space we're allowed. I said you got hate. I said you got hate. No, all you've ever done is give your honest opinions about stuff. And this match was the return match after the count-out victory that Maxine Dupree had against Becky Lynch. Was it last week? The week before? I think it was last week. Whatever it was, to go for the Women's Intercontinental title. And this match this had some good parts. It had some not as good parts.
Yeah, because I don't mind. I like the story they're telling. I love the fact that she's 2-0 officially against Becky. That's cool.
Right.
She got 2 wins. Granted, they're disqualification wins or whatever, but they're wins. So that's good.
Count out in DQ. Yeah.
The problem is, and it's not Maxine's fault, It's the fact that Vince loved her, obviously, the way she looks. She's a very attractive woman, brought her right in, doesn't know how to wrestle.
Right. No, yeah.
And if
No,
you
I
look
was
at the landscape of the women's wrestling in WWE right now, other than Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, all the women are 5'5" and less. And Maxine is well over 5'5".
right. That's
So she's out of her. Other than Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, she's the tallest person there. Maybe even taller than Rhea. I can't.
Raquel Rodriguez is a tall.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm with you. I get you. No, yeah, no, I get you. 100%. Main event talent. I get you.
So her problem is what would have been nice is if after they decided to take the Maxine Dupree gimmick off her with LA Knight, that if she would have went down to NXT and actually learned it a little more, that would have been cool.
And would it have been so bad for Tozawa and Otis to go down?
That's the other problem. That's
my second bitch. You nailed that.
My second part
you're
of this.
Damn right.
My second part of this is she's not associated with any main event talent. She's associated with Tozawa and Otis, who are comedy figures. So she's a comedy wrestler, even though she's not a comedy wrestler. That's how we perceive her, because she's with a comedy group.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with comedy, but if you're going to present me with somebody like that, I'm in my mind, I'm like, Tozawa and Otis, love her. I don't put her bigger.
Yeah, and it does seem like this is how she's gonna break out of that a way bit, but you're right. No, and it would have probably worked out to just send. I mean, if you wanted to keep them together, send all three of them back down to NXT.
And they were down there. Tozawa was down there for a little bit, goofing around. That's cool.
Yeah, well, and you nailed it too about Vince. And actually, shout out to This Is Awful. I was listening to their show last night when they were talking about how there is, like, you see randomly the people like, oh, Vince needs to come back. Triple H sucks. And they're like, and both Dis and Awful were like, no, remember what Vince did. And I pointed out the last thing that Vince gave to us in this wrestling world was LA Knight as Max Dupree, the Maximum Male Models, and her in this role brought up way too soon.
I thought the last thing he brought us was the egg.
Well, okay, I'm a creator.
I know. I'm just being a wise ass. Run with me.
Who wants the egg?
Where's my egg? Find my egg.
Wasn't that like a movie tie-in for a movie that did fuck all? Okay, I was right about that. I pointed that out.
Then he had the balls to say on national TV, "That's my $28 million egg."
Right? Or like it was the most fat. All I can ever think of was the episode of The Simpsons with Bleeding Gums Murphy and his Fabergé egg habit smashing it. Yeah, no, just terrible. But like, you're right. You could see she's getting better, but like what do I always say about my favorite part of NXT is watching people get better on NXT. It's a little rougher on the main roster. Like with NXT, you're in the Performance Center, and she just didn't get as much NXT time, and that's, like you said, it's not her fault at all. And this match had some good moments. It did.
Plus, she's tall and lanky.
Yeah,
and in that division, it's obvious.
Yeah, you're right.
It's tougher. It's mentally tougher. It's visually tougher. It's just, I can't explain it exactly, but
no, you're right. You're right.
She's probably 5'9".
Yeah, I was like 5'8", 5'9" for sure.
Yeah, and the rest of the talent are all 5'5" or less.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but I mean, there were definitely parts where she's getting better with it. You can see she's putting in the work. She's definitely trying, but it's going to take time. I mean, this is not an easy business to be a part of. And she's also working with Becky, who's an amazing talent that you can watch Becky like rolling and making the match work and be better with it. But hey,
you can only do so much.
Yep. And then, like you said, Becky hits her with the belt to get the DQ finish, which is good. I'm with you. I do enjoy the story part of it. But I was watching this match, and there was a couple times where I was just like, ooh, like, I'll say it, where I give NXT a pass on that because NXT is developmental. This is Raw in a major stadium. Like, you've got she's improving. I like her. I think, and I like her talent. I like her work ethic. I was gonna give the old, like, what was it, the Terry Runnels line? She's full of spunk, but I didn't want
to.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. I
don't mind her. Like I said before, I don't hate her. I don't mind. It's just she was put in a tough position.
Right. And like
That's
listen, she's improving and doing her best that she's doing beyond what I thought she would have with where she started, you know, but
yeah,
it's
but
gonna
where
take time.
Becky has decided to become a saint. So she's worked with Lyra Valkyria, and now Maxine. So Becky's trying to put these
I
people
give you that. No,
she's trying.
Becky, you're right. No, Becky is giving back to the business. Yeah,
100%.
And that's what the Intercontinental title is supposed to be. It's the workhorse title.
Let's give Becky credit, man. She is a great heel.
Yeah. No, we were talking about it.
She does posts on X that are great. She does all sorts of amazing.
Yeah, and this is, and again, back to where Vince messed up. He made her like the big time Bex and like, yo, you want to be a heel? We're gonna make you this kind of heel. And it's like, no. There's elements of that, but not all of that. Like this version of heel Becky is great. You mentioned how great it was. I forgot to grab pictures from her and Heyman backstage after this match where Heyman's trying to explain himself.
I was hoping they would tie that. I was hoping they would tie up that loose end.
Yeah, no, and I like Becky just
they just shit on Seth Rollins, and that's her husband. I'm like, they got to tie up this loose end here to make me happy, and they tied it up, so it was good.
That was good. No, it was good. And Heyman just humming, it's good, you know, pulling the collar and all that, and she's just sitting there like, fuck you. And it was great too. She's like, and I thought it was good where she even put the line out because a lot of people like, oh, they pulled the trigger too soon, blah blah blah, whatever. And she's like, I'm surprised it took you so long. I thought that was good. I thought it was done well. Now, another thing that I think hurt this match was that the next match was Stephanie versus Roxanne. And, you know, they're both not tall, but they're both fantastic. I was going to say
again, two women that are 5'4" or less.
Yeah.
And not 5'4" is being very, they're both.
Well, no, Roxanne's like 5 foot 5'1". Stephanie's 5'3", 5'4". Yeah. But I mean, but look at the difference of it in the work ethic. I mean, the work rate, talent. These
makes sense. They're used to each other. If you watch a hockey fight, you see a guy 5'8" taking on a guy 6'4". The guy 6'4" kicks his ass.
The giant goo and just douche. I also purposely grabbed this picture for you because it had a leg slap. I thought that was the leg slaps. It's
a little better done than normal. That's good.
No. They're good with it. The WWE's less egregious, I guess, mostly, but no, there's still a lot of it. But you know, this was good. Raquel got involved and kind of, you know, thwarted Stephanie where she could, but it was entertaining in the sense of it. Stephanie Valkyria is amazing. I've said from early on how great I thought she was. And again, the improvement, you could see the work she puts in, not only in the ring, but with her English. She does a lot of like charity stuff and working with that. I got nothing bad to say about it. There are no notes for Stephanie Valkyria.
I have one concern.
What's that?
They're overworking her a lot. Like, I'm in fear of her getting hurt more than anything else because they got her every show. A AAA show, she's everywhere, which is great for her, but that's a bit much. Coming from a guy who used to watch wrestling every week, from the guys traveling around the, you know, but
I can tell you. Well, they're doing a lot more now than they did with those for sure, especially when back then when they were house shows that weren't televised. Anything now is televised, but I mean,
she's on every show, which is good, but I'm just concerned. That's all.
I get you. No, that's a valid concern, and I feel like since she's gotten the women's title, it's been a little less, but yeah, I mean, I get you. But she it was a good win. She comes in, but then she starts getting beat down by the Judgment Day, and surprisingly enough, the one who called her Stephanie Vacay came out to help her. I mean, they say they're friends backstage. Sure, yeah. I mean, they are really trying to keep Brie a babyface because of the nostalgia factor, but I don't know. The Bellas were always better heels. Like, it's hard for us to believe that she's back here for anything but the women's champion, right? I feel like it's gonna end with her turning.
Not on my bingo card was seeing her come out and save Stephanie.
Right? You hear the good luck, but wait, what was that? Like, I was surprised. I thought she was gonna get saved by somebody. I just would have. I just didn't. Right? Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? I mean, and it was fine. It worked out. And I mean, they had their like moment backstage afterwards where, you know, I feel like Stephanie's playing nice. Like she knows, you know, Brie is legend.
She is. She is.
I mean, she is in her own right. Fine. It's just, and Stephanie McCare is obviously a hard worker, willing to do what she wants, but it's or willing to do whatever they ask of her. I mean, but it was just odd.
Yeah.
It was fine. I didn't mind it. It was just odd.
Right when I saw this, my mind went to tag team match. Stephanie McCare and Bella against the Judgment Day. I was like,
and I'm glad you said that because I forgot about that because when you said when this happened, I was thinking, is that going to happen Saturday or I would think Saturday because that seems more of a Saturday night's main event match versus
I would hope never
Survivor Series.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Bella in the ring wrestling. I think she's good.
I agree with you, but they brought her back.
Yeah, I know. But they can bring her back. She can manage Stephanie McCare. I'd be okay with that. In a weird sort of way. It'd be an interesting dynamic. I would like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Brie wants to wrestle, but I agree with you. No, I agree with you. I think she wants to wrestle.
We'll see.
It's all I got. I got nothing. I wish I had more. I feel bad because, the Bellas are from my area. They're from Scottsdale, so that's a little But I mean, hey, it's Arizona. But yeah, it's weird. That's all I got.
WWE has to get younger, not older.
I agree. That is true. Which is one reason
no offense to your age, Brie, but no offense.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm with you. And so then we had the main event was the men's battle royal, which you knew was going to take a while because this was going to be for who faces CM Punk on Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It's Saturday night's main event. And I mean, they had stars in there. I mean, you got AJ Styles, Dom, Finn Balor, Penta, LA Knight,
Otis,
both Usos.
Otis, my man's in here.
Yeah, I like that. It was a good shot of Otis and Kofi Kingston, former champion. I mean, it was fun. There were some good moments in there. I mean, there was some good teamwork. There were also some good storylines moving on. Like again with Dominic, Penta, Rusev. I really think that I don't like I said, I don't know is that going to happen Saturday's main event, or I feel like that should be the Survivor Series just for Dom's sake in his hometown, but I don't know, maybe not.
I really appreciated guys working double duty on this night.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I grabbed this shot because it had Finn and JD, Dragon Lee and Rusev all in it. Also, too, every time he gets on commentary, I forget how much I've always enjoyed Punk on commentary. He's always been great on commentary.
But it made sense to have him on commentary.
It did. No, it was perfect. It made perfect sense because they were gonna get to face him, and he's always great about like talking about wrestling history and when they call the not play-by-play guy the color man, it's so he's supposed to bring color to it. He's gonna the play-by-play is like drawing you the picture, and he's gonna fill in the color, and he's great
plus at it. Obviously they have confidence in them because normally what they'll do is they'll put the guy that's or the woman that's the champion and sit him outside the ring to scout the match.
Right, and that's the difference.
They're not on commentary at all.
You're right.
Usually
that is the difference.
WWE does so.
No, you're right. There's the difference where they'll put they'll have the folding chair out if they're not so sure, but when you have people that are good at this, you put them on commentary, and it was a fun. I mean, this battle royal took a while as well. It should.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah,
Jake. Do you think that when he's done with his career, he's going to go down to NXT or be a color commentator? CM Punk.
How about yes? He goes down to NXT and he's the color guy on NXT.
Do you want to waste him on NXT, or would you rather have him on the main
roster?
Well,
I'm saying if he's at the Performance Center.
I'm asking for one career. Where do you think? That's what I'm at.
I think he has
career suits him best. Let's go with that.
So here's the thing. I think he could have the option. For everything I've seen, especially with the videos and stuff that he's done, he wants to train. He wants to help. He wants to be a part of that. So I would have said put him in the PC. If he's already going to be there, commentary is just right there. It seems very easy to me, at least until Sean retires, then he takes over that position, because that seems like what he wants to do.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It'd be also one of those things too, where it's like, hey, if there isn't a better person to do color commentary, or at least somebody good enough, he's clearly able to do it. He's great at it. So
like a natural, didn't he?
He did. And I remember it back in the day. What was it? I forget what year it was, but he got hurt. And he wasn't able to wrestle for a while, and they put him on commentary for a good couple of months, and he was awesome at it. I forget what 2000 what 11, 12, 13, I forget what it was. I'm
Right
old
around
and
there.
forget, but I know it was awesome.
Also, AEW used him on color too.
Yep, and they show he's great at it. Like he's a good talker. He knows the history. Yeah, that's the other thing too, where that's why sometimes the AEW commentary bothers me because Excalibur will talk about indie stuff that most people don't know or shit that happened in Japan that most people don't know. Like CM Punk's gonna talk about like NWA stuff, WCW stuff, old WWF stuff, and it's very relevant. And then the match goes through it 3 or 4 different times. Jimmy Uso either saves or helps out Jay. But Jay saw this moment of LA Knight and Jimmy fell over and he pushed them both out. I like the idea of Jay possibly full on turning heel. Like, I know some people, like the fans might get pissed about it, but it could work in some levels of it. I or at least teasing it. But Dom tries to come out and push Jay off and loses, and Jay wins the match.
I was surprised by this.
I was, and then you had these moments too where Jimmy's just like, what the man? How you gonna do that to me, bro? Like I thought that was entertaining. I thought it was done well. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this moving forward. You know, like what's gonna happen.
I don't know why they. I'm trying to think how to phrase my question. I don't know why they picked Jay again. We've seen that before. We've seen this.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen Jay versus Punk for the world title.
I don't want to see it. I think if I would have had a little more, I understand what they're doing because they got everything got scrapped. I get that. So if you're gonna have a quick match turnaround, build Jay up a little bit, have Jimmy win this stupid thing, and then you got a quick match, and I can buy that. Let Jimmy take on CM Punk. That's fine. It's for Saturday night's main event. That works for me. And
but
build up the story of Jay turning. That would have been fine.
Right, but I think that's going to be he's going to turn because he's going to lose.
Yeah,
I think that'll be the catalyst.
I don't like the choice. I didn't like it.
I get you.
Personally.
No, and I understand that. I do like it in the sense because I do think I think that it'll Punk will win and it'll lead
Punk
to
should win.
Oh, he better win. There's no way he doesn't win, in my opinion, on this one. I don't think unless Jay goes full on heel in that match to win. Which actually I would like better because I think it would work. I think Jay should. I mean, because here's the thing:
all those sales goodbye, kiss the Yeet entrance goodbye. No more of that.
I think it's slowly gonna leave anyway.
So it is slowly leaving, but Mike, keep milk. This is TKO, dude. They're gonna keep milking as long as they can.
And that's why I think Punk's gonna win. I'm just thinking what I would have liked better, but I'm not. I don't have any TKO stock in my bank, so I don't get to. I don't have a knowledge of it. I'm just saying, like, I think it would be better for my entertainment for Jay to win, but that's not what TKO cares about, and Punk's gonna win. And then
that's where what I'm saying actually comes in a little bit, because if you're seeing the Yeet thing slowly fading, you start telling the story of Jay slowly turning heel. That way, people aren't falling off the cliff.
and him losing tonight or him losing it Saturday pushes that towards it. That's where I think that's where it works. Is he's gonna lose and be mad about it, and we'll see where it goes.
I think the general WWE audience is having Jey Uso burnout right now, and he needs some time.
And that's what, and I think he'll lose on Saturday night's main event and turn heel slowly, or maybe even not so slowly. I'm not sure.
Or shouldn't have won this at all, and then we could have just waited. That would have been fine.
Well, we can't do that now.
I'm sticking to my guns.
I understand that, but we've moved. But what should or shouldn't have happened has already happened. So
I was surprised. I understand the fact that they were pressed into service here with the storytelling.
No, you're right. And I'm wondering what they would have done, like if Seth was healthy. Probably just wouldn't have had a title match.
Wouldn't have been a battle royal at all. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Probably would have had a
be Seth.
Probably would have been like Cody and Drew. Cody and Drew. Yeah, no, you're right. Well, no, Seth versus Punk's got to be. That's got to be.
They could make that a trilogy if they played their cards right.
That's a valid point. I just feel like that would have started at Survivor Series. Just for the start of it. But either way, I'm
because there's if you have Seth versus Punk, you don't even have to have that on Saturday Night Live. You can Saturday Night Live. Damn it, I always do that, dude. I always do it. Saturday night's main
You hadn't done
event.
it in a while, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You were due.
I got better, but failed.
Yeah, great, yeah. No,
so
I get you. Like,
if Seth doesn't get hurt, it would just be Seth at Punk at Survivor Series. There'd be no Saturday night's main event.
Right. Or exactly. There would have been you're right.
Never
and it would have made sense to, that would have made a lot of sense. And like you said, they could have done a trilogy and done another match, at one of the pay-per-views beforehand, and then at Mania do it. Because I did feel like that's what I was had to get. The Mania match was Punk versus Seth 1-on-1. And that's why I thought that Braun would have taken on Roman. But like clearly, hey, that was the old plan. We're moving to the new plan, which, hey, good for them. They've done, you got to be able to pivot. And that's where I feel like Triple H, some of his best work is being able to pivot or planting seeds that, hey, when we've got to grow this shit now, we're growing this shit now. So,
yeah, that's also where you get the benefit of the doubt from the people, though, like me.
Yes.
I didn't like what I saw, but I understood why they had to do what they had to do, because they had, 12 hours, 24 hours to figure shit out. That's a lot. That's not much time in wrestling, folks. You know what I mean?
And never mind the fact that you're doing it on the other side of the planet. That probably doesn't help me. You're making these decisions in Australia. Not that it really matters, but it also does. Like, it's a little weird. And you went from what should have just been a nothing match of like, hey, champion versus champion. It's a big marquee match on the other side of the world, whatever. Oh shit, Seth busted his shoulder. Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Yeah, what you've done is you've taken one of your main events at Petco Field, Survivor Series. One of your main events is now gone. Oh shit, now what do we do?
Yeah. And what we hear, it's going to be possibly like Seth's going to be out for past Mania. So not only is what you had probably set up booked for Survivor Series gone, but also like, oh shit, that's the rest of this year, next year. Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why you've always got to have a plan B through L. You gotta have backup plans.
People are decent enough to, to give you the benefit of the doubt when stuff like that happens. Now they realize Seth is actually really hurt, and they were pinned to the wall, so to speak.
Yeah.
They made it happen.
Yeah, no, it was funny. Who was it? Oh, it was the Cornette review. They happened to record like in between, like they saw that Seth had gotten knocked out on Raw, but they hadn't seen that. They didn't know he was hurt. So it's like, why'd they do this? Blah blah blah. And then the next episode. So Seth was hurt, did what they had to do. Makes sense. Like, yeah, it's the exact reaction that everybody else had.
Yeah, as long as you don't make something stupid happen, Make it logical to the people, they can understand what's going on. That's all you gotta do.
Right. Don't make us feel stupid. Don't
insult my intelligence. Don't. That's all I ask. Don't insult my intelligence. Make it.
Don't talk to me like I'm a kindergartner. Yeah. No.
100%. I can look at it and say, okay, that makes sense. That's all I ask.
And I'm also like, hey, I'm intrigued enough of like, let's see where you go with this. Now they can obviously shit the bed like we did with Cena's heel turn, or it could be amazing. So we'll see. I'm excited. I also feel like things are ramping up because we're getting closer to the Royal Rumble and Mania season, and we all know that's the best time we've got. So makes sense. It was a good Raw though, overall. All right. Yeah, and then we might as well get into the rest of the week with NXT, which we'll cover quickly. That was a fun show. They're setting themselves up well for the show.
Halloween Havoc, folks.
Yeah. Also,
one of my favorites, by the way. One of my favorites of all time, Halloween Havocs.
And I like how NXT's always kind of had fun with it, because Halloween Havoc was always set up as a little bit more fun.
Dude, you remember the original WCW Halloween Havocs, that shitty decorations they used to have and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Those inflatable guys you buy at the fucking dollar store.
Like it was what they got it. Like it was before, like somehow they got it before Spirit Halloween was a store. Like, they had all this.
Dude. Yeah. I used to love that. Like, it was so cheesy.
And like some of the weird cheesy matches, like obviously everybody remembers like what was that, like the cage thing with the chair in the middle with Abdullah the Butcher and the
Butcher. Was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
No, I was and it sucks for me because it's here in Arizona, but it's not like I live in
Arizona.
Yeah, it's like in Prescott Valley. Although from what I've seen, it's done well enough. Like there is a decent amount of people that live in northern Arizona, and I know at least 2 different people that are driving up for it. And so I'm going to try to get some pictures and videos from them, and I'll post them onto our page because it should be a fun show. I mean, they've set themselves up well. I mean, it's a perfect like this match for the women's championship. Tatum Paxley is the spooky female of NXT, and she's gonna lose to JC Jane for the title match. It makes perfect sense, you know.
I was surprised they picked her. I was surprised
I was, except for like you said with Halloween Havoc.
Yeah,
that was the only reason it made sense. Yeah, and kind of giving her that chance to shine, but she'll lose. But now what was?
But JC Jane will make her look great, dude. I'm not a big Tatum Paxley fan in the ring because I think she's not very good. But I will guarantee this will be her best match I've ever seen her in.
Yeah. And the tag match there was some good parts of that. Now I was surprised with
they've got the new Jane bandwagon or what, dude?
I love it. No,
I'm 100% invested in this woman.
On the bandwagon. I think you're probably the conductor. Like I am. No, I love it. That's awesome. I forget the girl's name, but the third girl that's now in Fatal Attraction instead of Jasmine Nix, who went on the Ariel Helwani show over the week. And
boy.
Yeah, it was an interesting interview. I've seen most of it, but then I've seen clips of the one I haven't. Yeah, it was a interesting little bit there, but whatever. But they've set themselves this set up a tag match with Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley, and JC Jane, and the other girl from Fatal.
Laney Reed, right?
I think that is it. Yeah, you're right. It's Laney Reed. No, I was trying to thinking of Laney Lane from.
That's what I was. That's
where my brain was, and I'm like, no, that is not it. And then so I'm just like, Fatal Influence. We're just gonna call him Fatal Influence.
Was it Lois?
Laney Reed. Yeah.
Lois Lane? No, not Lois Lane.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Laney Reed. And it was a fine match. Now, the match I was looking forward to see because I love this kid too is Leon Slater versus the old Stax Lorenzo. I always forget the silly name that came with him. I do like what they're doing with him now, though, where he's being the cocky guy, and he's really like him and Ariana Grace really live together. Like they're a couple and have been for a while. So teaming them up kind of makes sense because she was kind of floundering with the Miss NXT gimmick, and it seems like the TNA thing is still a partnership, but they're not as deep into it as it was. But it was fun to watch. Leon Slater obviously had to win. It made sense. Trick Williams came out with him. The biggest part of it wasn't so much the match, but what happened afterwards with La Parka, Mr. Iguana, and Yeska coming out and challenging them for a match at Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, we've never seen a taller, leaner.
Who was this ever? Who? Yeah, that's thank you. Like I'm like, who is this? Who the fuck? This is like not.
La Parka's now 6'8", 110 pounds. What the hell?
I would have thought it was Javon Evans if Javon Evans wasn't already out there in the ring. Like, who is this La Parka? Not only he's too tall, he's not, and like obviously he looked. I mean, not obviously, but he looks like he's in like his 20s. So,
look at those arms. There's no arms. Yeah.
Look how the height though it gets me. And don't raise the way he raises his arms. It's just obvious. I'm not sure who this La Parka is, but let's be real. Everybody.
I noticed that in the AAA show. I mentioned it to you, and now it's really more obvious.
Right. I mean. So at least hopefully it's the same tall.
It is the same one.
Yeah.
Same one.
Yeah. I just don't know who that. But clearly it was about Mr. Iguana and getting him on as much as they can. And that will be the most fun match of Halloween Havoc of these two versus Javon.
And this is the place to use Mr. Iguana.
Yes. And we
main roster, you pop him in once in a while. NXT, right. He can show up whenever he wants. He's perfect here. That's fine.
Exactly. And like we said, with the main roster, it's got to be specific areas. You know, you got to be in certain towns that either have a high AAA, like either AAA travels there, or there's a good presence or a good Hispanic presence, whatever it needs to be, you know. Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, that is, or if you're going to do main roster. But NXT is perfect because the moment his music hit, before like the green popped up, most of the crowd popped because the NXT crowd pays attention. They watch everything.
Most people know everything there. They're super smart.
They really do. No, and I'm sure they probably like if they're, you know, I'm sure they probably showing up videos and get that crowd hyped because I'm sure it takes longer to tape than what it actually is. Like it doesn't air live, but it was perfect. I love the NXT crowd. I thought this was great. Now, like I was bummed before that I couldn't go to Halloween Havoc. Now I'm really bummed. I was like, God damn, if I had the money, I totally would. But unfortunately, it's been a been a rough year for the Jakester, so we're working on it. But I'm gonna watch the show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Then we had the Jasper Troy murking Zachary Wentz match. Good Lord, this is a good old fashioned squash. Which I mean, look at them as it should be. I mean, when Jasper Troy came out, I'm like, who's he wrestling? And it was the Rascals music came up. I honestly thought it was going to be Wes Lee. I'm like, they release him and they're going to kill him. But yeah, I mean, this was fine. I mean, they're obviously pushing Jasper Troy, and you can't blame them. Look at him. He's huge.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, I like the guy. This one
thing also about the NXT crowds also is it's the same crowd pretty much every week.
It is.
Because it's all people that know the people that work there. This makes sense. Very few Joe Schmoes are in that crowd.
Right. I mean,
they know the wrestlers. They might be related to the wrestlers. They know what's going on. They're on top of their shit. They know everything. They know the music. They know everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and the only time it's not is when they travel. That Orlando crowd, it's the same. I mean, it's a 300-person place. It's probably like 500 people that is rotating through. Like there's some people that don't go. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Now, here's the segment that I thought was funny in the sense because when I was on X before, I thought from what I determined that Sol Ruca was the one injured, but I literally saw half the people saying Sol was hurt and half the people saying Zarya was hurt. Like, this is why I don't buy this is why I don't follow any of the news sources. I don't believe any of the bullshit because it's bullshit. Like, okay, Sol's hurt. Somebody said the thing to me about it. I'm like, I'll just watch it live because I'll see what it is.
I saw something, one of the fan cam footages had them walking out of the show after the show was over, and you could tell Sol was actually hurt.
Okay. All right. So see, that makes sense. From what I saw people reporting both stories, and it's just like, stop. Everybody just has to say what their opinion. Like, well, they're going to show us what's happening, and clearly Sol Ruca is hurt, and it makes sense. And actually, again, using the storylines to their advantage, Zarya is going to defend the North American title for Sol at Halloween Havoc, and clearly she's going to lose it. Like, that just makes sense. They've been slowly teasing the turn on Zarya and Sol Ruca anyway. Blake Monroe needs the belt. Like, it makes perfect sense. It's one of those things like, hey, we're in this shitty situation. We're going to use it to our advantage, and this is perfect.
Gotta pivot. I'm
not sure how long. Yeah, and then what I would assume happens is Sol goes away, rehabs, and then when she comes back, she can attack Zarya because Zarya can whatever. Or maybe Zarya can they can finger poke a Doom or whatever, and Zarya can lose and she can be Blake's head. That would make sense too. I'd actually be pretty cool with that. We had Axiom versus what was his name? The hell's his name? Something Legacy. Sean Legacy. That's his name.
Yeah, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, he's from Evolve. I've seen some of the stuff they've done on NXT with them. I think he's part of the Swipe Right kids who they seem like they're talented on Evolve. They've got good cockiness and heelishness, but I've said it from the beginning. I haven't watched Evolve. Then we had
I've never seen one of them. Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen them on NXT. That what they've done. They've had. I think they've wrestled a 6-man tag once, and they've done backstage segments or whatever with Robert Stone and the Australian girl.
Yeah.
OTM came out in the middle of Hank and Tank's match and murked them. That was fun. OTM, I was wrong. I had it wrong. I thought they were Zach Wesley's group. That's High Rise. These are the guys that were with old Scripps, Mr. Reggie, the sommelier, when he came back down. That was their group. But they also were with Jada Parker was in that group initially. So I'm not sure if maybe they'll team back up with her. I'm not sure what they're. But, I mean, look at these guys. They're massive. They're big dudes. They've got they've got charisma. I'm excited to see what they could do and be back. I think one of them was hurt for a while. I'm not 100% sure.
Speaking of which, I don't mean to go back to a spot, but has Sol Ruca ever had the injuries before that we knew of?
I believe so. I do believe.
I thought so too. That's what I was trying to remember.
No, I don't even believe so. I know so because I remember when I first started watching NXT regularly, they started the vignettes of her coming back with the beach stuff, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I know of her," and that was when I was like, "Oh, that's Sol Ruca." And then it's Sol Ruca. Now Yes, that was
if it's the same knee or not.
That I don't know. I don't know if it's the same knee, and I don't know what either issues were. I do know it was a knee. I don't know which ligament or what. I mean, with the knee, you've got what, 3 or 4 ligaments. You got the patella, you got tendons. There's a lot of different things.
It always concerns me when these younger girls like Statlander and now get these constant knee injuries. Tegan Knox, same thing. Dakota Kai.
Cora Jade. Yeah, you're right. Dakota Kai is a little bit older, so it was more like a wear and tear. But the younger one, because Dakota Kai is like late 30s, or like she's older than you think she is, from what I remember. But like Cora Jade, Chris Statlander, like you nailed lots of younger names. It gets scary. I mean, guys too, like the knee. Modern medicine's great, but bad knees are bad knees, man.
Seems like the women have more of an affliction toward the knee injury to me. Guys get them, yes, but when you're in a wrestling profession, the girls are all bouncy.
I would say that maybe because they're doing more like gymnastic spots. Because I know that's why. Because I know Soul, what was it like during the NXT TNA thing? She did the thing where she backhand spring over the ropes or whatever. And I remember the way she landed, like I thought it was a lot of stress on both knees, because the way she landed on her feet essentially and like stood there like, yeah, which looks cool, but not good for the knees.
Yeah, when you watch gymnastics and you watch those girls dismount from the pole vault or whatever they do, that shit takes a
I mean, there's a reason why
their knees are all taped up at
that's a reason
13
why
years old.
Gymnasts are small. Like there's a reason why like they don't want women that are you got to be like 5 foot or shorter and like 96 pounds, because that's less landing on the knee. Otherwise, you're gonna carry shrug it out there. And as I'm standing here with my one leg up and my arms out, doing my carry shrug pose.
Nice.
Get us to 500 subscribers, folks, and I'll go on camera. Share it with your friends.
Is that a selling point?
Yeah, I said it on a live show before. That's my number.
No, I didn't mean. I was being funny. Never mind. You missed my joke.
Yeah, my bad. There you go. So Tatum Paxley's fun, but I'm with you. She's not the best in the ring, but this match does make sense. But she jinxed herself at the end of it after, the baby faces won. That's the thing. You could have that moment where you can get over on the champion before the pay-per-view, but you can't the moment you grab the belt. If you don't have the belt and you grab it, bad news bears. Like Mike Santana.
If they play their cards right, the NXT crowd's gonna dig this girl.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. She's got a good personality. She just needs to get better in the ring, but she definitely is. I remember when she was back when I was first watching NXT when they went to the CW, and she was with Lyra Valkyria. She was trying to be her best friend. The backstage stuff was great and fun. Like she could see a character, and then in the ring, it was like, well, she's a lot better than she was. But they're still, I mean, she's what, 23, 24.
Yeah, that's why they're there.
Exactly. That's why NXT exists. And that's why people are like, oh, it shouldn't be on TV. It's like, well, not a lot of people watch it. It's not for the casual. It's not for the people that only watch the main roster. It's for people that love wrestling. And I do. This segment was fun. Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. I'm still thinking the next time Trick loses a big match, he's going up. Like, what else does he have to do? Like, this match is because he walked out on Ricky Saints. Okay, that makes sense. And it's also like, build up Ricky's resume. Great. What does Trick do after this? I feel like he's got to lose and go up to the main roster.
Yeah, but who? Where?
But I don't know.
Where with who? Where with who and when?
Well, I had a plan, but they did it with Ilya Dragunov last week. SmackDown. He came back, challenged Sammy for the Open Challenge, and won the U.S. title. And I was like, great for him. That was awesome to see. But damn it, that was where I thought Trick was going to come back and do it. And then he and Mello could have feuded for it. It would have been great, and it still could. With how talented Trick is, I think he'll get over wherever you put him. And there's enough people.
I think they're locked into NXT for about a 6-month window here. I don't think you're gonna see anybody come up for it. I don't think so. We'll see what happens.
Or maybe you could have a debut like of somebody.
Like the Royal Rumble, you can have guys show up, get a reaction, see what they do.
Yeah. Now, with Trick, what's good is you've said it before about it. Like he's got a built-in chant with the whoop that Trick. And there's enough people at live events that no matter where he would debut, you would have a small enough of the crowd starting to whoop that Trick. And it's an easy chant. People can figure it out. you could get the crowd chanting "whoop that trick" for him. It'd be interesting, but we'll see. I mean, there's no way Ricky Saints loses this match, in my opinion, but maybe not. Like, if Ricky could lose this match, then Trick does have a reason to stay and they can continue to feud. But I'm interested to see.
We've gotten to this point where they need younger people up there in the main roster. Yet there's no places to put the people. It's a weird. No, it's very strange.
It is, and when you say it out loud, you're right. Like, because I'm like, yeah, he's great. But fuck, where do you put him? Their rosters are depth now. Obviously, also too, injuries are going to happen, and it's not like the old days where rub some dirt on it and get back out there. Like, that's why I think people like, oh, there's so many more injuries nowadays, which to a point is true, but also people aren't working through injuries like they used to back in the day because you can't. Yeah, it's the medical
injuries injuries are all reported now before they were
right. Yeah, it's not like we were talking about with sports before. He's got an upper body injury. No, Seth blew out his shoulder. I was on an upper body injury, bruh. Yeah, but I like seeing Ricky. I was a big fan of Ricky Starks in AEW. I'm a big fan of Ricky Saints in NXT. I'm happy he's the champion. I assume he wins tomorrow on Halloween Havoc, and we go forward from there, but we will see. Halloween Havoc should be a good show.
We're going to review that show, right?
Yep. Yeah, we'll review it for that because it's tomorrow on Saturday, so that's how we'll start Spaces on Sunday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. That's 5:05 for me. My bad. I'm on the West Coast. It's my local time. No, it's 8:05 p.m. Eastern for Sunday Night Spaces on my Twitter/X account. Hopefully it downloads this time. That's why we didn't get last Sunday Spaces on the YouTube, because Twitter didn't let me download it. I went to my Spaces.
You got an apology. You got an apology.
I did. I got the didn't get any money though. Now, yeah, I got an apology from Spaces download. No, because it's a free service, so I can't be too upset about it. But yeah, they sent me an email this morning about not being able to download your specific file, but hopefully it wasn't. It was just a one-time thing. It was that one Spaces is not supported for download. You can try to download other Twitter Spaces, which we shall, because normally
the Spaces shows are fun.
Yeah,
they're a lot of fun. The YouTube live shows are fun. Listen, just tell people about the YouTube live shows. Drop a like in there. We're trying to. It's slow. It's minimal goals at starting, folks.
Yeah,
like to get the 10 likes. We were at 7 this week, which is cool because last week we were at 5.
Yep.
So this week we got 7. Next week we're trying to get to 10.
Right, so and the unique viewers goes up every time too.
If you're listening to this and you enjoy the program, go over to this YouTube live shows on Thursdays, 8:45 Eastern on YouTube. Go there, hit the like button, stop in, say hi. If you can't stay for the whole show, pick it up on the replay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work out to put clips of the live shows up too, so if people aren't sure what we're doing, check out the clip. Show your friend a clip and see if they dig it. Send it, like you said, send them over to us. We're trying to have fun. It's absolutely free. We're not doing anything spectacular, but we're trying to do something different. I feel like that's something that we're and most people do seem to enjoy it. We're getting more viewers each time. It's just a slow progression, which is fine. That's what we're here for. We're here for the long haul. We're not in this for the short game. I'm having way too much fun doing it. The live show has been a lot of fun. Thursdays at 8:45 p.m. Eastern on YouTube.
And then on the Spaces show this week, I'll announce my classic match of the week.
Yes. Yeah, we're getting back into those, and we should have another guest booked for a recorded episode coming up. We actually have a couple of those lined up, so stay tuned for that. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here, my friend?
No, we're all good. We covered everything.
Right. I was gonna say we kind of nailed that one. Sweet. All right. Well, this was we will be live on Spaces at 8:05 p.m. Eastern this Sunday for the NXT Halloween Havoc review, and back here on YouTube at 8:45 p.m. Eastern this Thursday for another AEW Dynamite review. So check us out. Thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you all next time. Peace.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.